He is the chairman of the Senate Democrats campaign arm. It's his job to lead the fight to defend Democratic Senate seats in 2018. He was the chairman of the House Democrats campaign arm during that devastating 2010 cycle. I'm sorry to remind that of you.
That was a rough cycle. I did it in 2008. That was a great cycle.
Well, let's remember that one then, if you'd like. So you ran the DCC. Do you believe that the House is now in play?
Oh, I think the House is in play. First of all, you have all this energy around the country responding and resisting to the Trump agenda to turn back the clock. And Exhibit A in that effort is their effort to blow up the Affordable Care Act. And the difference now is, Katie, is that people around the country are now living the benefits of the Affordable Care Act, which is why the Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan entity, concluded that 24 million Americans would lose access to affordable care if you actually blew it up, as the House bill does, and then they took it one step further and made it even worse. So I think this is going to be a really tough vote for Republicans to defend. More importantly for the country, it will be really bad for health care throughout the United States.
So what did you learn from that wave election in 2010? And what's the strategy going forward? Is it the same, essentially, strategy as Republicans used?
Well, I think the strategy, Katie, is to continue to harness the energy that's out there. Look, I think tens of millions of Americans are very nervous about the fact that Donald Trump and this administration, together with Republicans in the House and the Senate, are literally trying to turn back the clock on lots of progress in the United States of America. And that Trump, having said on the campaign trail that he was out there for working men and women, has put forward just the opposite agenda. Look at the health care bill. A lot of people are focused now on the Affordable Care Act exchanges, but it actually cuts Medicaid by $800 billion while giving a big tax break of about $800 billion, mostly to powerful interests and very wealthy people. That is not what Donald Trump campaigned on, but that's what they're going to have to defend.
So you say you want to harness the energy. Given that, what are Democrats going to stand for? Are they going to stand for Obamacare and it working, or are they going to stand for a new idea like single payer?
Well, let me be clear, Katie. I think Democrats have said from the beginning that we want to fix the problems with Obamacare, specifically within the exchanges. I believe a clear answer to that is creating a public option, a Medicare for all type option within the Affordable Care Act exchanges, right? That would create more competition. It would ensure that there was a plan in every part of this country. So we're going to continue to put forward ideas to fix it. But the Republican goal is not to fix it.
Is that a hybrid single payer / Obamacare plan? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, it would create, within the exchanges, it would create a Medicare for all type option. This is actually something that was debated at the time of the Affordable Care Act in the House. Many of us wanted to push this forward. The way the Affordable Care Act unfolded in the Congress, that wasn't possible. But that is a clear fix to this particular challenge. The Republican plan doesn't fix the exchanges. It makes them worse. And then again, it also does these other things. I mean, Medicaid will be devastated. That's going to harm tens of millions of people. And all for what reason? To give these big tax cuts to wealthy people. So that's going to be very difficult for Republicans to defend. And it's one reason Republican senators are rightfully nervous about the House bill. But we should be nervous about the fact that Republican senators will still want to find a way to pretend they're making changes and pass it through the Senate.
So you and other Democrats are basically saying that this is the destruction of health care. Given that, is it appropriate for House Democrats to be singing on the House floor, for them to be cheering this on? What message does that send to the American people when they are singing if this is something that is, for many, for some at least, literally life and death?
Katie, look, I'm not sure I would have recommended that response, just like I would not have recommended that Republican House members tromp down to the White House and have a beer party when they're taking away health care for tens of millions of Americans. You're absolutely right. This is a serious issue, and we should debate it on the merits. And it's on the merits and on the substance where I think this is going to be a big liability for people who are trying to defend this vote in the House. And for senators, who are now considering what to do going forward. I really urge every American to continue to weigh in. We know that only 17% of the country supported the earlier House bill. They've made it even worse. That's what they've sent to the United States Senate. It's really important that everybody around the country weigh in on this issue. It's not a surprise that every patient advocacy group, the American Cancer Society, the American Heart Association, the American Lung Association, kids groups, doctors, hospitals, the AARP, they're all dead set against this. And it's not because they're weighing in on a partisan basis in support of Democrats. I mean, their patients are Republicans, Democrats, or independents. They know it's really bad for health care in the United States.
Senator, why should Americans trust the Democrats to be able to fix this?
Well, the Democrats have put forward a proposal that the Congressional Budget Office has looked at, and they'd say not only would the public option save money for the taxpayers, it would also have the effect of driving down the costs within these exchanges. So Republicans instead, the Republican approach, of course, was not even to read the Congressional Budget Office analysis of their proposal because they didn't want to know the facts as they went forward. But we put forward this idea. I hope Republicans will embrace it. We've also put forward ideas to reduce the costs of prescription drugs. So fixing the exchanges should be something that we can come together on. But blowing up the Affordable Care Act entirely is going to impose huge costs on the public.
Senator Chris Van Hollen, appreciate your time, sir.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.